Hello, everybody. Let's talk about San Diego and market updates within the city of San Diego and more of the state, more of the county of San Diego, because the city has many areas around it that we also work in. Hi, my name is Roxanne Govari with Pemberley Realty here in San Diego, California, along with my partner Santiago Guerin.
Hello, everyone. Looking forward to a new topic this week, and let's get to it.
Well, let's talk about what's going on in the market, right? So what we've seen this week is jobs report coming in, and jobs seems to be weak, and we also have a report of AI coming through and basically doing a sweep of taking away lots of jobs, and that also contributes to unemployment. And so together, they're making up for a very different economy that we're used to, and it's also bringing some weakness to the market that we've been experiencing in terms of our real estate sales. And so we have to basically figure this out and figure out how to navigate through with what's going on the economic level, and how to make that match our local economy.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's a very you know important thing to be able to navigate through these you know uncertain and things coming up, and you know new reportings, how things are going to change, what's going to happen to us here in San Diego and the whole county in general. So it's very.
and I think in terms of the city of San Diego, or I should say county of San Diego, what's really interesting with what's happening around here is that we are experiencing intense revitalization happening around us, right?
Yeah.
And by intense revitalization, I mean we seem to be turning from a little um, a little small city with very modest economy and being in the shadow of Los Angeles
Yeah.
and we're turning into a major metropolitan city, and we are turning into basically a major city of on our own,
Yeah.
with robust economy, and basically holding our own next to Los Angeles, which is historically not what
Yeah.
we have been.
Yeah, I mean, and what about you? I know you have tons of experience in, comparing San Diego with LA. Are there any specific neighborhoods here in the county that have had, a big, growth over these last couple of months, or some that have kind of gone down these last couple of months?
So what I have seen in San Diego economy is we have a lot of we are experiencing lots of growth in terms of new builds in
Mm-hmm.
the metro area of San Diego.
Okay.
Metro area of San Diego being downtown San Diego and the surrounding neighborhoods that are around San Diego: Golden Hill, South Park, North Park, Norma Heights, University Heights, Hillcrest. If you look at any of these areas that are surrounding the downtown San Diego area, you are seeing lots and lots of revitalization and building happening. And the buildings that are happening, it's either It's either you're seeing apartments going up or you're seeing a lot of ADUs being built. And ADU stands for accessory dwelling units, basically meaning that you're building a smaller unit on a lot that has the capacity to add another unit in there. And we have seen a lot of influx of those types of units being built as well.
I see.
Now, with that being said, of course, we're not developers ourselves, but we are salespeople, and naturally, is being sold is whatever is being built is going to create inventory for us, and that's the product that we sell. So you would expect that as salespeople, we're for building as much as it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
That being said, I don't know about your opinion, but my opinion is that we are having a lot of building in San Diego that doesn't necessarily serve us the best way possible.
Yeah.
And so, for example, we used to live in New York City, and what I knew in New York was that you had your corridors along the side of busy uh, uh, roads. And on those corridors, you had a lot of apartments, huge apartments that were being built, and we are having those huge apartments being built. But then you would go inside the residential neighborhoods in New York City, and you would see those neighborhoods being intact. Single family neighborhoods were single family neighborhoods, even with the density that New York City had.
Yeah.
And what we're doing here in San Diego is not the same. We are attacking our single family home neighborhoods, and we're adding ADUs that are not exactly, you know, add to the integrity of neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And another thing, it used to be, I remember when I first started getting into real estate and getting into construction and getting to, work on development projects. City of San Diego was very, very strict about parking and parking laws and parking requirements. And even though as a developer and as a builder, that was not a fun thing to work
Yeah.
with. But looking back, I think it was necessary. A lot of the times you go into developments or into condo complexes, and today with what's being built around San Diego, like for example, there is a model of build that is called complete communities, where there's one actually down the street on Adams Avenue where it's 5 stories high, and and to my knowledge, there is not even any parking requirements at all for that unit. Now, the funny thing is, we had a rental very close to that we were marketing for rent, and somebody came through that rental and was asking, okay, so what are the availability for parking? And we were like, well, there's a shared parking space, but there's one space for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath unit. And they were like, okay, well, we're not interested because it's important for us to have parking.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's very, especially here in these areas now with all these new, builds coming up, parking has been such an issue, and it's,
and I believe
the residential houses too. The residential neighborhoods now are getting, full of street parking because, there's not enough room for everyone. So
now let me ask you this, because I think this is interesting. One time I wrote an article about the issue of parking and the issue of brand new builds going up
Mhm.
without providing ample parking. And I got a lot of pushback from bicyclists saying that, parking is not necessary and everybody can use the bike. And I was thinking, well, that is true. Everybody can use the bike, but is that convenient at all times? Because I remember when we were in New York City, yes, we were close to public transportation. We were close to subway systems, so we could hop on the subway and go everywhere. But at the same time, if we wanted to go to see relatives on the weekends, who wants to take public transit to take
Yeah.
2 hours every way to go visit relatives? You would want to use your car. So, as a young person, I'm going to ask you, how do you think about that? If you have to go grocery shopping, would you think that you would do that on your bicycle, or would you want to have a car?
Personally, I would rather have the car. I mean, I love riding my bike and stuff, but when it comes to like going to work, uh, going grocery shopping, going to see friends, I think the car is, a necessity to, just if, I mean, it's kind of hard to bike in dress clothes to go to work, or, when you're going out or stuff like that. So it's very difficult. I mean, and then here in San Diego, it's like a car is almost a necessity. So
Mm,
you can't really, it really depends on the location you live in, because sometimes you're not as central and have as many things around you in, let's say, a 5-10 minute bike ride. For me, it would probably be more like 20-30 minutes to wherever I'm going, so it can make it a little bit more difficult. So that's my opinion.
yeah, and I totally agree with you there. And you were talking about growth in some areas versus not, and I think that it also comes down to infrastructure,
Yeah.
right? They were even talking about the growth of AI and the race for being first in AI, and they were talking about whoever is going to build the infrastructure is the one that's going to win the race with AI.
Yeah.
And if you also think about that in terms of San Diego and its growth and the services that the city and the county provide to the residents, I think we're basically talking about the same issue, to the fact that we do not have the public transportation structure to get away from cars the way that we are building within
Yeah.
our communities.
Yeah.
And basically, we're putting the cart before the horse,
Yeah.
and building a lot of buildings that need to provide parking because we don't have proper
Yeah.
transportation to service all the units that we're putting in.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And what do you expect with all these, new changes? What are your thoughts for the next, let's say, 6 to 12 months? What's your prediction on how, the housing market, just San Diego or San Diego in general? What are your predictions of what things are going to look like?
You know, in terms of predictions and in terms of I think another issue that we have to address is affordability, right?
Mhm.
And I think both of those are challenges that we're facing. And yes, we are building a lot of units, and yes, we're addressing the shortage of inventory that we have by building, and we do need to build in order to address the shortage. But
Mhm.
are we addressing the shortage at the same time as we're addressing affordability? And that is the big question that I see. Like, for example, we're in the business of either selling units or we're in the business of renting units, right? And if you think about it, if you look at what's out there, um, for example, a one bedroom, one bath unit, if a one bedroom, one bath unit is at $300,000 versus what we see right now on average about $500,000,
Yeah.
then That's our issue. Basically, we're about $200,000 above what people can afford to pay
Yeah.
for. And
Hmm.
then if you're looking at rentals, the one bedroom unit, an affordable one bedroom unit would be around, 16 to $1,800 would be affordable, whereas we're looking at almost $1,000 more because our average one bedroom is between 2,200 to $2,500 per month. So
Yeah.
you're talking about, somewhere around between $500 to $700 in addition to what people can afford.
Yeah.
So what I think what we need to do, or what I guess I don't know if we can really do it, but either the developers that are building these units have to be cognizant of, or the politicians that we have to be cognizant of, that yes, you're allowing lots of buildings, but these buildings that you're allowing to be built are not really helping anybody.
Yeah.
Because if you look at what these buildings provide is a one bedroom for rent at $3,000, $3,500 per month, which is, I mean, I don't think any San Diegan can be paying those prices.
Yeah.
And if we're building these units for, affluent people from other states to move in, how's that going to help our economy?
Yeah.
So those are some of the challenges that we need to overcome to, yes, build, but build more economically, or and most of these units also are rental units, as opposed to units for sale. That's another challenge that we're facing, where okay, great, you're building a lot of units, but where's the actual for sale units that people can actually buy?
Yeah.
And those are some of the other issues that I think we need to address within our county.
Yeah. And then what about with the, interest rates looking like they're going down a little bit? What do you predict off of that? Do you think more people are going to be more encouraged to buy, or do you think prices still need to go down for people to to jump on board?
So affordability is a funny thing, and this is a topic that we were discussing a couple of days ago. To the fact that, if you have a conversation with a buyer, or if you're having a conversation with a motivated person that would like to buy, or if you're having a conversation with a motivated seller that would like to sell, and the conversation goes to, I'm waiting for interest rates to drop, so that I can do X or I can do Y. The fact of the matter is, 6% interest, 6.5% interest is really not that bad. And last week when the Fed met, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, but interest rates were at around 6.8. And then the jobs report came in, and then a revised job report came in, and the job report was worse than they had expected. And the mortgage market actually immediately dropped almost the next day after that report was out. Mortgage rates came down from 6.8 to 6.5. And that's a 3 point difference.
Yeah.
And right then and there, you are getting a lot more affordability if you're action ready, and if you're willing and able to buy. Now, some people say, well, you know what, 6% interest rate, even if 6.5 or 6.8 came to 6%, I would still not buy, because that's still too high. I am going to wait until I get to 2% or 3% interest rate, which is what we had during COVID, right?
Yeah.
The challenge with that is, we were dealing with COVID,
Yeah.
and COVID was a pandemic, and pandemics are normally come around every 100 years.
Yeah.
So the question is, are you going to sit there and wait for another pandemic to hit? So you're going to sit there and wait before you buy for another 100 years? And or those type of interest, if you wanted to see a 3% interest rate, then another phenomenon that could encourage that kind of interest rate would be wars.
Yeah.
And so, do we want to see wars in exchange for 3% interest rate?
Yeah.
And and I would argue that most of us are not going to want to see that type of thing happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that being the case, I think put money away and try to get in as soon as you can. If you can't get it because you can't afford it, then compromise, make sacrifices. Instead of a 2-bedroom, get into a 1-bedroom. Instead of a house, get into a condo. Go a little bit further out in the neighborhood, make some sacrifices, but get in when you can, because at the end of the day, what you can afford today, no matter when that today is, it requires sacrifices to be able to buy. So, all right.
Good predictions and good tips for everyone out there. So, glad we had this good conversation today.
So on that note, let's share our information in case that people want to get in touch with us. So there is my phone number if you want to reach out to me. There is Santi's phone number if you want to reach out to him. You can also reach us on Instagram, and we really appreciate it if you give us a follow on Instagram. Or if you are seeing us on Facebook, we also appreciate it if you give us a follow there. If you want to send us an email, there's my email address, and that is our team email, so you can reach us all via that email. And our website is at pemberleyrealty.com, and we're always happy when you visit us for your buying or selling needs. And if you're watching this on YouTube, we really appreciate it if you give us 2 thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. So as we post future videos, you are notified of those videos. And thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, everyone. I'll see you on the next one.